Ping pong balls. That's first foremost on our topic grid today. Blackhawks had the second best overall odds for the number one pick, and the lottery played out in the exact order of the reverse standings from top to bottom. It was pretty interesting to see this, but Blackhawks didn't fall. That's good news. Your reaction when you heard the Blackhawks called for number two there?
Obviously wanted number one. I think everybody knows that we deserved it. We're the most deserving team for the number one overall pick. So it's kind of disappointing that we didn't get the number one overall pick. I think that the NHL really did the Blackhawks organization a disservice here. It's going to be hard to work under these conditions, and we're pretty upset about it. Ron?
I in the moment was initially upset as well. Was a little bit relieved, admittedly, that they didn't fall. I think that's the biggest thing here, and that was what I put in the old stick taps for later in the show. Was, hey, the ping pong balls did them a favor. They didn't fall. Technically, they had 70% odds to fall to 3 or 4 versus stay at 1 or 2. So hey, I mean, you can't be too upset about that, but it was certainly a tease. When it came down to them and the Sharks, and it was the Sharks getting the number one pick. So disappointment, I think, indeed. I have to agree with Tony there, but a little bit of relief as well, Johnny and Tony, that they didn't fall to 3 or 4 in this draft, because I think that makes a big difference, being able to stay put at 2 and knowing you have the rest of the prospects that are available to choose from at your disposal.
Yeah. Guys, I was just most shocked that the order stayed exactly the same. I was writing up, I had a tracker going. I was writing a draft for our post over at ontapsportsnet.com to keep our readers updated on where the Blackhawks would pick. And I had the odds pulled up in a separate tab just to, keep track of, remember who had what and did anyone jump or what was, who moved from where. And nobody moved from any spots at all from 1 through 16 there. I guess the only movement is that Pittsburgh, since they landed outside the top 10, they have to transfer their first rounder to San Jose as part of the Erik Karlsson trade. But that is literally the only switch in any of this. And that was already pre-planned. If they would have gotten a top 10, they would have stayed and kept their pick and transferred next year. So that was it. I was just kind of shocked that I think Elliot Friedman on Twitter said that was the first time since 2010 that happened. But I agree with Ron on this one. I'm happy they didn't fall, because if you look at the odds, they technically had the best odds to get number 4 by their chances, right? Just with where they were, they did not even fall to that. They didn't fall to 3. They stayed at 2. And I think there's going to be some good options on the board for him there.